Yeah, take it. Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome back to Sunday Sessions. It's me, your boy, Hass. We're dressed the same. This is my son. Shut up. Sit down. Sit. Good boy, thank you. Yeah, so today we're making, I don't know what we're making, man. I freestyled this. It's like a curried chicken with a curry sauce and an onion bhaji. Just nice things that I like to order from the curry shop. So first things first, I've got a chicken I've marinated, and instead of having to marinate 2 chickens and then cook another chicken and then have another chicken, I'm just gonna show you how to make the marinade. So here, I have 1 grated onion, 6 cloves of grated garlic, a big thumb-sized piece of ginger. When people say thumb size, look at your thumb and then do a little bit more. My thumb's bigger than yours, so I went for a big old thumb piece of ginger. 3 tablespoons of yogurt, a tablespoon of Kashmiri chili, and a tablespoon of garam masala. Garam masala is just like a whole load of mixed spices. There's clove, there's cinnamon, there's chilies, there's cardamom, there's all that fucking stuff, right? So all we're gonna do is give this a mix. Until it looks like that. It's red, it's deep, it's peppery. The reason, I don't often put onion in marinades, right? But I read up that the enzymes in an onion can break down and make a chicken more tender. So I guess we're kind of using it as a brine. I've never done it before. It's not something that I normally go to. So just went for an onion. Then you're gonna put it on a chicken. This is a spatchcock free range organic 2.2 kilo chicken, right? So it's a big boy. This will feed 4 people, go smaller. But please do use a free range and try to marinate this as long as possible. I marinated mine 2 days ago. And then we're just gonna stick it on the grill. I've got the grill at like a 3 count. And all I wanna do, yogurt has the ability to catch on the barbecue. And like, if you get like a chicken tikka, you've got those little dark black bits that are charred, but not burnt. That's where the yogurt's caramelized, right? So we have to be careful. So I'm gonna cut it with a tiny bit of oil, and this is just gonna give us food lube, a layer of protection, a little bit of oil, and then we're gonna season heavily, right? All the way across, just like so. And then I'm gonna give it the flip and do the same on the other side. Right, now this is gonna go on the grill. Now, so I'm cooking a curry sauce in the background, I'm doing an onion bhaji, so I don't want to put this on in a too hot position. I want to be able to put it down, let it char, slowly tick away and turn it every 3 to 4 minutes. I don't want to stand over it and nurse it, right? So I've got like a 4 count on this corner and this side of my grill's hot, so we can cook it here and then flash it there. You know the setup. Dog's eating a table, but it don't matter. This now just go on and sit, right? Let it do its thing. Don't fuck about with it. Getting any last bits of the marinade on. Slow and casual. Remember, this is a big bird, so we're looking 35, 40 minutes plus resting time. So the last thing I want to do now is bang the chicken on, get too much color, and then fuck it. And then basically, if we burn this now, we're continuously cooking a burnt bird, and there's no fucking point. Take it off, put it in the bin. I hate going to barbecues and someone's put fucking honey on the wings and put the wings on and then turn them over and they're burnt. The next 20 minutes, all I'm doing is burning wings. Do you know what I mean? Slow, control, look after it. It's making beautiful smells. We've marinated for 2 days. Don't fuck it now. You could do this in the oven, really hot oven. Put it in a tray with a rack in so that the chicken's elevated. We want like full heat circulation. I'd go in at 200 until it goes nice and crispy, drop it down to 180, anywhere between 25 and 35 minutes. Obviously in the oven it's getting full heat, so it doesn't need to cook as long. We're here looking for slow, juicy, little drips, pockets of smoke. But yeah, do this in the oven, easy. Beautiful. Slow, crispy, rendering fat. When you spatchcock a bird, yeah, the bone side is your safety blanket, yeah? So cook it more on the bone side. Let the bones heat up, let the bones burn. No one's, I mean, some people are, my dad would chomp on a bone a little, but that's your safety blanket. Do not fuck skin side, yeah? Fuck bone side. No one can see it, no one cares. Oh, no one's gonna be like, oh, you've burnt the bones. Fuck all that. Save your presentation side. Bones can burn, it's not a problem. In the process of flipping, I lost one of my legs, but we're just gonna cook it. Flipped it, I said I flipped it 4 times, it's been about 15 minutes. We're starting to tighten up. Just gonna let it do its thing. Now, we're gonna move on to making a curry sauce as like a garnish. I don't wanna cook the chicken in the curry. I kind of want it individual, yeah? I wanna dip my barbecue chicken into a nice curry sauce, so let's do this thing. Base ingredients for a curry: ginger, garlic, onion, curry leaves, mustard seeds, tomato, coconut. That's the base for me, right? I'm going to show you a few things along the way that I've changed and incorporated. Now, I feel like this recipe here is a hybrid between a butter chicken and a chicken tikka. I've made both of those curries before, and I feel like this kind of sits in the middle on my take on a mishmash of both of those. So, we're going to start off by finely slicing 2 onions. Now I'm cutting my onions fine because 1, I want them to cook quicker, and 2, I want them to catch a little bit of colour. I want them to have a little bitterness in the back. And this is just about creating depth and flavour in our curry, right? This pan's way too hot. And then I've got green chilies. Now, I don't fuck about when it comes to heat. I feel like on a fucking cold day like this, I want a good few chilies. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going 7, innit? These 2 for good luck later. And just chop through them, just into rounds, trying to get them as even as possible. And like this is like heat, aromatics. And it's not about, oh, I'm putting 7 chilies in because I'm hard. I want it to be hot. Again, where this is like a dipping sauce, our chicken isn't particularly spicy. So I want something that's going to give us that hum, that little bit of fire. Then, more aromats. We're looking at garlic, right? So, 2 onions, 7 chilies, 5 cloves of garlic, finely sliced. You know when you die, yeah, and your life flashes before your eyes? Mine's going to be chopping onions and slicing garlic, bro. I worked in Italian restaurants where all I did was slice garlic and fucking DC chilies to make chili garlic oil. You're only going to learn to do all the little things we do as chefs better by repetition. You have to cook more, you have to be more involved, right? You're not all of a sudden going to wake up and be like, I can chop great. Anyway, thumb-sized piece of ginger, Hassan thumb, yeah? Slice thin, then into matchsticks and dice. That's all my chopping done. Start of a curry, you can use a flavoured oil, you can use a vegetable oil, a sunflower oil, coconut oil is used a lot in curries. Today, I'm going ghee, right? This is where like the butter chicken idea comes from. And I want to start the base of my curry with clarified butter. So ghee's clarified butter, right? So they cook butter to a point where they can separate the liquid and the solids. Ghee is just that liquid, right? So, doesn't burn, won't go brown, very, very high cooking point, which means if you're doing fast curries and stuff, that you can just go bish bash bosh, and your curry's done. I'd say that was about 1 heaping tablespoon of ghee. Oh my God, bro. It's all right, the dog will eat it. I want it to smoke, and then we're gonna add things in stages. This isn't about going, and hoping for the best. We're adding stages. We're going to build and layer flavor in order to make our curry delicious, right? So, smoking ghee, mustard seeds. Mustard grows all over India, South India, the whole of India, the Indian Islands. Is the Indian Islands a thing? That part of the world grows mustard seeds a lot, right? So mustard seeds. This is flavoring. So this is like flavoring the ghee. Fucking my mouth's watering, think about it. This is about flavoring the ghee, right? Mustard seeds in, snap, crackle and pop, yeah? Three sprigs of curry leaves. Don't want to burn them. Chili. Garlic. Doesn't need that long, our ghee's fucking mad hot. Onions are now gonna cool down the pan. They're gonna release their juices. Bring the temperature down in the pan. A little salt is gonna help the moisture come out of the onions, right? And now here, colour's not bad. Colour's flavour. Like in an Italian restaurant, they'll be like, oh no, start again. You've got too much colour on. Or if it was a French, but you've got to look at the way people do things and try to understand. You see now that there's moisture dancing in this pan. It's from where we've seasoned our onions, right? Ginger. Turn our pan down ever so slightly. Let it do its thing. Little smells of sweetness from like bits of onion catching in the pan, yeah? Curry leaves are all blistered. All cooking in that mustard scented fucking ghee, bruv. It makes sense, you get me? Like, build the fucking layers, fam. You don't build a house and then go, I'm gonna put the fucking roof on. No, bro. Can't put the roof on first. Foundations, base, insulation, all of that shit. All of the stuff that makes your house great at the end, comforting, warm. This is your insulation, you get me? This is your bread and butter. One way to test if your knife's sharp enough is that you should be able to peel a tomato, right? If you can't peel a tomato, your knife's fucked. I'm gonna peel these tomatoes. Obviously you can blanch them to take the skin off, but I forgot. So I've just got a really sharp knife and I'm just gonna peel these tomatoes down. Colour, bitterness. So we're gonna balance this with sweet later with coconut milk. So in here now, a teaspoon of Kashmiri chili, yeah? 2 teaspoons of garam masala. Now I've taken my pan off the heat because out here, that thing works on fucking hot. It's just hot all the time. It doesn't fucking do medium and low. You don't wanna do this when your pan's really hot. So I'm gonna take it off and I'm just gonna stir this through like so. And all we're looking for are the spices in the garam masala and the fucking chili powder to come back up to heat and let their oils out and flavour all of this for us, right? Just like so. Now, at home, you're gonna do that for about 3-4 minutes. I'm gonna peel the rest of these tomatoes. Also, I like to peel tomatoes because it reminds me of my aunties and my nan in Cyprus. Like, they ain't ever seen a peeler in their lives. I just sliced these tomatoes down. Now remember, this is all going in a blender, innit? So there's no style points, as my phone just dropped. There's no style points for like cubing, concass, bollock, tomato, or any of this shit. If you're shit at chopping, you're shit at chopping. If you really wanted to, stick all of that shit in a blender except for the curry leaves and then cook it all together. But you get more flavour and more control cooking it this way. So heat back on. Gonna add in, this is 3 peeled tomatoes, yeah? Instantly the tomatoes hit the pan and there's moisture again. So we're not frying. It's gonna get to a point where the tomatoes have released all of their moisture, the moisture's evaporated, and then we're frying again, and that's our next stage. Smells nice, man. So yeah, we've got a little bit of colour. Not there yet. Starting to firm. Look at that. That's what we're fucking looking for. Caramel, crispy, but not fucking burnt, yeah? Stop burning shit at barbecues. We've gone from moisture back to frying, yeah? Tomatoes are broken down. Here, I'm gonna add, as my dad would say, bir avuççuk, which is like a handful. 1 handful, 2 handful almond, yeah? Grounded almond. And this is gonna give us a nutty vibe at the end. What I'm looking for is like a peanut buttery flavor. So like the almonds that we've added are gonna give us that nuttiness in the background. Let them toast off, and then we're just gonna go in with some coconut milk. This is the good shit. This is extra thick coconut milk, and this is all gonna be like sweetness. This is gonna allow everything to stew and cook down together, right? Bring the coconut milk up to a boil. This isn't boiling, this is just like residual heat in a pan. And then we're gonna fucking reduce the shit out of it so the whole thing intensifies, then blitz it. Yeah, it's a little bit burnt. Bruv, the comments. Hi ladies and gentlemen, I've had a brainwave and I've got some leftover curry leaves and some butter, and I'm just gonna baste this bird in curry leaves and butter, and we're gonna keep imparting flavour and let it slowly do its thing, innit? If the odd curry leaf comes off and smokes over the fire, we're all right. Oh, who's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bird, eh? Eh? Right, so we're just going to rest this chicken. I'm just going to put the curry leaves underneath, so any resting juices pick up the curry leaf flavour. And then this last bit of butter, just going to go over the top and let it sit in all of this niceness. And that'll give us another little sauce. Like, you see the drip there? You see this? You fucking dumb, bro. Always. Chicken's rested, curry sauce is blitzed. We're gonna make a really quick onion bhaji, right? So here I've got 3 onions that we're gonna slice nice and thin. I've got a mixture of white and red purely because I ran out of white onions. I'd normally do this with only white onions, right? Don't want big chunks of onion because basically we want to cook these really fast in hot oil. So the thicker the onion is, the longer it's gonna take to cook. Right, onions are chopped, yeah? Then we're going to go in with some ginger. This is like a little finger's amount of ginger. Same way we cut it for the curry, into nice matchsticks, then into a nice cube. Ginger in. A small bunch of coriander, just going to roughly chop. Just like that. Don't care if some bits are big. Big bit. Lucky person, innit? Like that. 2 little green chilies. Big pinch of salt. Need to make sure that they're seasoned on the inside. Nice crack of pepper. And then spices, I have a teaspoon of ground coriander and a teaspoon of ground cumin, yeah? Teaspoon of each. In they go. And then there's no like real measurement, you have to do this by eye. The one thing that is measured that's important is a tablespoon and a half of corn flour and half a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda. That's gonna give us crispiness, lift, crispiness, batter, that stuff, right? So that goes in. And then gram flour. Now this is flour made from chickpeas, so it means it's gluten-free for all of you gluten-free people. 5 tablespoons of gram flour. In that goes. And then we're just gonna make sure that everything's coated and distributed evenly, right? So that the corn flour, the bicarb, the gram flour all mixes together. From here, cold water, and this is by eye, we're looking for a thick batter consistency. So I'm gonna go a little drop first, then I'm gonna mix it through, right? A little drop more. Now this is like thick and sticky. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more. Thick and sticky is what we're looking for. So you don't want to be like able to like shape it. It needs to come together, right? Now, the reason we're using cold water is so that when the cold water hits the hot oil with the bicarb and the corn flour, we're instantly cooking and we're making like puff, right? So this is in, all come together. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pinch a little bit of our mix into a ball, hold it in for a couple seconds, give it a drop. We're just going to make sure that they're cooking on both sides. So I'm going to give them a little flip. Nice and golden on one side. Right, look. Beautiful, golden, crispy, delicious. I like how some bits of onion have got fucking batter on, some don't. They can go bitter and crispy. We're just gonna lay these on a piece of kitchen cloth. Just let them drain. Hit them with some salt while they're still hot. And then continue to cook the next bit. Right, chicken's rested. Done its thing, warmed it back up. It's rested on this curry leaf. I'm just gonna portion it up. It's fucking moist and juicy and bouncy. We've cooked it low, slow. It's just great. Chef dibs. Right, now I'm just gonna garnish this chicken, right? So I've blitzed my curry sauce, so it's not completely smooth. Still got some body to it. It's purely because my blitz are shit. Don't want it completely smooth, but I want this to almost be like a sauce that the chicken sits on, right? It's deep, dark, delicious, spicy, warming on a day like today. Just the kind of shit I want to eat. So I'm going to plonk this down on this tray, like this. Just like that. This is where our chicken's going to sit. Then I'm going to go on with this beautifully cooked chicken breast. A little bit more over the top. And then, if you've got any resting juices left, pour that over the top now. But, I'm just gonna make it look pretty. Personally, I love coriander, so I'm gonna put a fucking shit ton of like crispy, beautiful coriander on top. Couple bits of fucking ginger, contrast. Couple chilies. Squash over some lime. Couple more bits of lime on the side just in case anyone wants to top up. And then got some mango chutney that I made. Big up Geeta's. If you're going to buy a mango chutney, Geeta's is the one. I accidentally got the hot one. Go for the normal one. Bhajis in a bowl. Don't really need to do much to them. Plonk a mango chutney because we've got fire, we've got fucking heat, we've got creaminess, we've got all of those flavours. The only thing we don't have is sweet. And that's going to come from our chutney. And then that, ladies and gentlemen, is made up chicken curry and onion bhaji. I've got my mate Ty here, Typhon, who's been in videos before, is desperate. So come on over, Typhon, and tell us. I'm going to start with an onion bhaji. Yeah, banging.
This is what you need.
Warming. Bhaji. Banging, innit? Yeah. Banging. So yeah, look. Beautiful cooked chicken. Not drowned in sauce, but sauce is there. There's like a bitterness, a sweetness to the curry. By all means, make rice, eat it with rice. But for me, I'd say it was on like, it was teetering on the edge of like chicken tikka, but on a hotter scale. It's not like blow your brains out, but there's a definite, the chicken's tender from like the onions that we've put in them, like tandoori spices in the background. Bhaji's delicious, sweetness from mango chutney, crunch. This is why we use corn flour, because they're still, we cooked these like 10 minutes ago, still crunchy, still great. Just like curry house vibes, man. Instant classic. Sound system banger. It will drape you out of your car, like Temper T said. This ain't a par. I said get out of the car.
You know when it's good? It's when you don't use cutlery.
Drop House Films.
Can you say films?
Films.
Films.
Films.